My name is Fabiano. I am a journalist for Brazilian website Cultura in Peso. I'm talking to Satanic Surfers, one of my favorite bands.
I mean, the very early days, we weren't around. I joined in 2003. Magnus joined in 92.
93.
93.
Yeah.
So, and the band started in 89. So we got a 4-year gap. When it was like, they were teenagers. It was Rodrigo, of course. And he had a guy called Robban. And maybe
Ola.
Yeah.
Or Eric.
Or Eric. Yeah, okay. So it was, for kids, basically. And they played, I don't know what they played in the very early days.
Like Misfits covers and stuff like that. And I think they were 16 years old when they started. And so like a high school band. And I didn't even, I didn't live in that part of Sweden at that time. I got to know Rodrigo a few years later. But so the first, as Andy said, the first 4 years, I don't know that much about it. They played local shows, but I think just like I had a band when I was at that age, and you had it just for fun, just because you want to play music, and you just trying to make just local shows and go to rehearsal every week. That was the goal of it. And but the thing, when I was like finishing, I don't know, like probably you would say high school gymnasium, kind of. A friend of mine, he moved down to Lund in the south of Sweden, where Satanic Surfers were, and he brought back a demo tape and said, "Oh well, I got to know these guys. They're called Satanic Surfers. Here's a demo tape," and I listened to it, and he said, like, if you're moving down, you might be able to play second guitar with them. So I didn't really know them at first, and then I moved down to Lund and met Rodrigo and Tomek and Frederick and got started playing with them. But that was in '93, so it's a few years later. But that's, I guess, when the band started really happening, and also when the melodic punk rock scene started to happen in Sweden as well. I mean, with, of course, the American bands been just growing a bit, like with, I don't know, NoFX and Bad Religion, all those bands, but also Millencolin, No Fun at All, Refused, and Randy, bands like that. So I think that's when maybe the band started gaining ground. Something happened at that time. So I can't really speak about the really early years, but from '93 on.
But it did that whole thing, it became like a collective, because a band could move forward and believe in themselves when they knew like their peers were also doing it. So because I guess Millencolin's, like all bands were like getting more shows and doing more, because everything just moved forward. It was a zeitgeist that was really pushing it.
And most of us, we were the same age, like born like the mid 70s, like from maybe 72 to 76, something like that. And I think we all listened to the same kind of bands, like maybe some Misfits, some Bad Religion, some NoFX, and all the earlier American bands, and somehow just interpreted it in our own way. Everybody wanted to play some kind of melodic hardcore punk, something like that, and just turned out like Millencolin sound like the way they did, No Fun at All the way they did, Randy and the Satanic, kind of the same influences, but took it different places depending on which people were in the band. And but it was just something in the air, like you had all the American bands coming, like in Sweden was really from maybe not 93, but 94, 95, 96, it was huge in Sweden. That was the big, like for the younger people, they listened to melodic punk. That was the biggest thing. Like Bad Religion could, they had like a couple of thousand people when they played in Sweden. And I mean,
they played Olympen. I mean, that's a big venue. In 90.
That was 94.
And first time, I'm a bit younger than the other guys, so first time I saw them was in 95, and then I joined in 2003. But I mean, today, what's that? 8 years?
Yeah.
8 years today is nothing, but back then it was very formative years. So everything happened between 95 and 2003. I mean, Satanic released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records. I mean, yeah, it was, and they were touring. Like when I met them, because I was a big fan. So when I met them, like, hey guys, how are you doing? Like, yeah, we just got back from Canada, and now we're gonna do Europe for 5 weeks, and then we're going to Australia, blah blah blah. They were constantly on the road, like, and yeah, every now and then the lineup changed. They got a new bass player, and then they got a new drummer. Well, Rodrigo stopped playing drums and singing at the same time, and just vocals. And then when I joined, yeah, a bunch of changes. But now we've been the solid 4-piece as we are.
2016 when Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Stefan on drums. Yeah.
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 Well,
Something.
7 years we've
Yeah.
been the same now. So almost like those formative years.
Yes, man. Look, I remember that changing of lineup. Rodrigo used to play the drums, and suddenly he started to be the main vocalist of the Satanic Surfers. Man, how was this process for the band, the changing to composition of the songs, the composition of the how this changing get some impact to the two Satanic Surfers, man?
Well, I think the thing is with him singing, he never wanted to be the singer of the band. He just wanted to play drums, write the songs and do whatever. And he wanted to just play drums and do that. But in I guess our second singer, when I was like Ulf, who sings on Keep Out, he just quit the band, and we were in the middle of a recording the split with the 10-foot pole, and we were like, well, you wrote the songs, we know you can sing, why don't you do the vocals on this record at least, and we'll see what happens. And so he never wanted to play drums and sing at the same time. I mean, he never wanted to do that. So that was out of necessity, I guess. And I mean, and I think since he writes the melodies, he knows how the way he wants the songs to be. I think it's gonna be the best if he sings them. And back then we didn't know, like, I mean, now, or I don't know, after a couple of records, it's impossible to change singers. Of course, nobody else can sing in this band. But back then we didn't know. Let's try this, but he didn't want to do it. So when, like in 2001, after many years, when like I don't want to play drums, I don't want to sing at the same time, we got another drummer just because. See, that was easier. I mean, it's really hard to play drums and sing this kind of music, or play drums, play this kind of music and sing at the same time. It's, I don't know how you do it. So I think he was just tired of it. It's just a lot of pressure. And back then, yeah, he said, like, just try, let's try just me being a vocalist instead, of see what happens.
And the big change there was that when he was drumming and singing at the same time, the song structure would easily have like half a minute or 1 minute of just like instrumental music, because, well, he needed a break from singing, and
everybody's playing instruments,
and everyone's playing exactly. But that became weird when he was just alone, like just a front singer. So you can notice that from which records. It's Unconsciously Confined.
Yeah.
And
Taste the Poison.
Taste the Poison. And even Back from Hell.
Yeah.
Those 3 records, it has less instrumental parts because Rodrigo's not playing drums, because he's singing. So there's another ingångsvinkel to it. Whatever that's in English. But yeah, like aim point, whatever.
Yes, man, I can imagine how difficult it is to play the drums at the same time to sing in punk rock and hardcore music, you know. Man, I
That's
did an
like
interview.
Unique selling point of the Satanic Surfers. Oh, it's the band with the drummer who sings.
Yeah, man, this is so sick, you know. I did the interview to a guy called Alex from Thousand Oaks. I don't know if you know this band.
He's so
from
good.
Italy. And I asked it to him, man, how is to play the drums at the same the sing to be the singer, you know, in this kind of music. And he told, man, this is really difficult. This is really harder. And he told him that one of his main inspiration to do it is exactly Rodrigo, you know.
Yeah, there's a French band as well called Mute. Or they're from Canada.
Exactly.
Quebec.
Yeah, like French Canadian. And what's his name?
Oh.
The drummer, he sings as well,
Yeah.
and he's also like a big Rodrigo fan, because so he really did something for like kids today, old people. But you know, he inspired a lot of people by doing that.
I play the drums, you know, I love to play punk rock music as well, but to sing at the same time, to play the
Yeah.
drums, for me is almost impossible, you know.
Yeah, and melodic as well, just to keep like being pitch and hitting the right notes and everything. I don't know.
Exactly. And talking a little bit about the band's discography.
So
Satanic Surfers.
we got a few demos in there in the beginning. Surf on Sticks, the discography.
Oh.
Like what the demo you got?
Well, that was called Me Took Love,
Yes.
and that's actually the Skate to Hell EP, but it wasn't tape. That's so
Is it the same recording?
yeah, same
Wow.
recording, yeah. On the like the CD or the album version says that I'm on the recording, but I'm not. I wasn't in the band. That was like at least 9 months before I joined the band, but I'm not sure. I mean, they did for that they played, like the Great Day for Skating stuff is something. I don't think they released them.
No.
But this
They had like
early
basement recordings and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And Surf on Sticks demo. I saw somewhere like Surf on Sticks, or maybe it was just a poster. Anyway, Me Took Love, and then Skate to Hell. Skate to Hell was the first CD,
Yeah.
which the band released themselves, and then later on, Bad Taste Records released it.
Yeah.
And it became like a good selling record. And then after that was then the band signed to Burning Heart Records and released Keep Out,
Yeah.
8-song EP. And then came Hero of Our Time.
Yeah.
And
No, before Hero Time, actually, the split with Temple Pole.
66 Motoring is the is
No, that's later. That's later on.
That's after.
So
I'll give you the years. So, Temple Pole split in June '95. Hero of a Time in September, October '95, and then 66 Motor in March '97. Yeah, and then
Going Nowhere Fast.
Going First in March '99. So
Man.
it's the Burning Heart years. Yeah.
Going to
And
Nowhere
then-
Fast is my favorite one, and I love
Which
this
one?
album. Going to Nowhere Fast.
Yeah, I love that record too. It's one of my
I
that's
used
my
to
favorite.
listen it every single time, man. It makes part of my life, man.
Well, thanks.
I think on that record you can hear that the band is in a disarray. Like Tomek was leaving the band, or like
that was a hard record to do.
he didn't. Tomek is a special guy, and his focus. I wasn't there, but I think I can hear that his focus was not really there. But there's a tension between the band, and you can hear it on the record. That's why it's so good, because it's like on the edge the whole time, and the songs are melancholic. They're like, what's the song? Back to where we started. Discontent. Big Bad Wolf and Discontent. Yeah. And then the band left Burning Heart, went back to Bad Taste Records, released Fragments and Fractions in 2000.
Yeah. And then Unconsciously Confined in 2002.
Yes. And that was the first record where Rodrigo was only singing, and they had a guy called Snake playing drums. And then Snake left the band, and then I joined, and Samsa joined on drums. I played bass, and we released Taste the Poison in
September 2005.
And then a few years later, the band split up, and then we released Back from Hell, 2018, March.
April 10th.
April. No, 13. Was Friday 13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
2018. And since then we haven't released anything, but we have so many new songs, which might see the light of day someday.
Yes, man. This is the next question that I was about to ask to you is if you already planning to release a new album, if something like that.
You know, we don't have a label. We are free agents now. And because we don't have a label, we don't have someone being on our backs like, you got to release this record right now.
No deadline.
We have no deadline.
That sucks.
And that's why it's taking so long. We're big procrastinators. When one day, when you're going to hear the new songs, you're going to hear Rodrigo's lyrics is about procrastination. Like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Because that's, you know what? That's a very human thing to do.
Yeah.
And if you look at Rodrigo's lyrics from the early records to now, you have like 3 stages. It was the funny lyrics, and then you had the political lyrics, and then you had the personal lyrics. And we're still in the personal era of Rodrigo's lyric writing. I would like to say,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and it's I mean it's hard for him to be that honest. And the band he was in, he was also singing in Atlas Losing Grip, and their last record is called Currents. The vocals on that record is beyond amazing, and the lyrics are so gushing honest about his life, his family. Check it out if you haven't checked it out.
For sure, man. And talking a little bit about the lyrics, Satanic Surfers has a lot of political lyrics, like you told me. And this is something that I would like to know, man, is nowadays, what is the main subject of the main lyric subject that you think that is more important to talking about some kind of discussion, something like that, or to keep talking about the politics or the government? What do you think that's happening right now that can influence the Satanic Surfers songs lyrics? And I would like to know more about what do you think about the fact that the lyrics can change the critical thinking of a person, that the lyrics can something like shape the way to think, the opinions, and can influence a person to learn something or something like that. What do you think about it? Can you explain a little bit to us?
I think that when you're breaking into politics as a teenager, I think you need like the specific subjects. This song is against racism. This song is against homophobia. This song is against trashing the Mother Earth. Like polluting, stuff like that. But once you grow older and your intellect gets deeper, then I think you need to see a deeper meaning and not just say like, this is wrong, this is right. I think you need to understand that every political action is actually a personal action, and therefore you can sing political lyrics, but they don't need to be like, oh, this is wrong or racism is bad, even if it is. You could rather sing about 2 people falling in love while they're demonstrating against racism, or someone who's not capable of dealing with their life because there's so much shit going on in the world. I think that speaks to another generation. So political lyrics can have a lot of shapes and forms. And I think like Rodrigo is writing all the lyrics, and as he grew older, his lyrics grew older too, and he's adapting, telling his story.
Yes, man. And talking a little bit about the punk rock scene in Sweden. Man, Sweden is, in my opinion, one of the main country about the alternative music, for example, heavy metal, death metal, and hardcore punk for sure. And I would like to know how is going the punk rock scene in Sweden right now. If you have some bands to share to us that you think that, man, these guys are kicking ass, man. Some bands that you think that are doing amazing right now nowadays. How is going the current punk rock scene in Sweden? In Sweden?
He's in a band.
Yeah, I'm in about. I think the thing is with Sweden, if you talk about punk rock, like the melodic stuff, like Satanic Surfers or I don't know, Bad Religion or Melancholy, is that's one thing, and only the bigger bands can play in Sweden. I mean, for us to play in Sweden, we would have like 200 people, 150. I mean, by ourselves. Melancholy can play in Sweden. The bigger bands that play melodic punk can play in Sweden. They're really big ones, but other than that, it's really hard for bands to tour in Sweden. But then you have like the DIY scene, the maybe more hardcore and crust punk. That's always alive in Sweden. Maybe like in different cities at different times because people aren't 20 years or 30 years forever, so they move on, and then some people take over, and there's for a few years there's a lot of bands in one town. There's a lot of, maybe not a lot of venues, but one venue that can book a few bands, and it can bring bands that are on tour that can go there, and then it changes to another city. But that kind of scene, not that I'm the biggest participant in that, but it's always alive in Sweden. The DIY thing is always alive, but it changes from different. I would say that geographically it changes throughout the years, but the melodic punk, when we talk about punk rock being like Satanic Surfers or NoFX or anyways, that's a different thing. That's, I don't know. It doesn't really work in Sweden right now, or it hasn't been for a long time. That was the 90s, I would say, for a lot of the biggest band, they can still play, but it's that's two different things. But the punk rock scene is always alive, and I think it is all over the world, but in Sweden definitely it's always a good scene somewhere, and a lot of, it's always someone starting a new hardcore crust band. But the melodic thing is, it's hard, I would say. Like
right now, like we live in the south of Sweden.
Yeah.
It's a bit like 3 hours north. There's a city called Gothenburg, and their hardcore scene is very alive right now.
Yeah.
They have a band called Bullshit, and they are like one of the best punk, like hardcore bands in Sweden right now. And Magnus' new band is called Hard Pass. They're really good.
Listen to it.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
For
check
sure.
out Hard Pass and Bullshit. Actually called Bullshit,
yeah.
but we should say Bullshit. What else have we in Sweden? There's this Swedish band called, I think they're called Speedway, and they're assigned to an American label, like Revelation Records.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
So
many.
There's a annual like festival, hardcore DIY festival called Alive and Well in Stockholm, I think.
Yeah. So.
And every year it's like a showcase for all the like, popular DIY hardcore bands.
So I would say that kind of scene, that
it's always vivid.
Yeah, it is.
It belongs to the teenagers.
Yeah. And then old people can get in for
like sideline.
Yeah, just we have a new band, please listen to us. And I think that's cool. I mean, it's always, I mean, that's a cool thing, because there's still people in their almost like 50 years old starting new, I don't know, hardcore bands or thrash bands or whatever. I mean, that's going on, but the melodic punk rock scene, that's...
You know what? We have to mention another hardworking band from Sweden as well. They're called the Dahmers.
Yeah.
They just finished a US tour. The Dahmers, like the mass murderer Jeffrey Dahmer. They open up for the Hives during the Corona years on a European tour. They dress up as skeletons They sing about Friday the 13th, all that horror business shit. The Dahmers, check them out. They're so
it's
good.
cool. Yeah.
Oh
One
man.
of, actually, they are a melodic
Yeah, they
band, but they don't do it in a do-da-da, do-da-da. They
more
don't
rock
do
and roll.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more rock and roll,
Yeah.
for sure. And whereas we,
Mid-tempo.
yeah, they don't do the skate thing,
No.
but they do the melodic punk thing.
Yeah.
But with a rock touch.
All right, man. And to finish our interview, how's going that tour around the world? How's going that tour? I know that you are doing some tour in Europe right now, yeah? You are
It's only 2 days.
Just a weekend.
yes, but do you have some schedule, some tour prepared to do for the future? Maybe back to Brazil again.
I hope so.
Nothing planned for South America, but after this little weekend, we're going to Canada in July, and then Italy for Bayfest. And then we're going to do a few more shows with the Millencolin and No Fun at All as a part of this Return of the Sheep Shots thing, where we kind of celebrate the I don't know, 90s big three skate Sweden thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Finland and Norway. So
yeah,
just 2 shows.
And then October next year, we already booked a boat cruise in Italy, going from Italy to Spain. So I think we're gonna be stuck on a fucking boat for
3 days.
5 days,
5 days,
3 days, I don't know, and play one show. But we're in touch with we're always in touch with Gus from Solid Music in Brazil. So he'll bring us back one day for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah, of course. Favorite place to play?
Yes, man. I hope to see you in Brazil again.
But last time we played in, well, you guys went there without me.
Yeah,
because I was
I
had a kid, so I had to stay home. But
oh man, congratulations!
The tour before that was also with Gus, and there was the first tour we did with Max from Atlas Losing Grip, of course. That was in 2016. 17.
Yeah, early.
Yes. And when we played Sao Paulo on that tour, it was so no oxygen in the venue, we couldn't breathe, and people are going crazy in Brazil when we play. We love you guys, but come on, it's so crazy. We love to play for you guys, but after the show we need 1 hour to just
I understand it, man. We love Satanic Surfers
the oxygen,
as well.
and then you need to understand with your brain what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, it's so intense.
Also, when we played in 2006 at the Hangar 110.
Yeah.
That was also insane.
Yeah.
They tore down the
curtains.
The curtains.
Yeah.
And a fight started to break out. And
before the show, 5 minutes before, it said, "Okay, it's gonna be crazy." And
I understand it, man.
And when we played Recoleta in
Santiago,
in Santiago,
what
the fuck?
Yeah.
Best shows.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Thanks a lot for this interview. It's over. It was a pleasure to talk to you. And I hope, like I told you before, I hope to see you again in Brazil, maybe to talk more personal.
Have a beer.
Of course. Yeah.
For sure, to have a beer, for sure.
We have to have a beer of our time.
Exactly. Do you have any message to leave to the Brazilian fans to finish this interview?
We love you.
We love you, and we hate all the racist motherfuckers.
Simple as that.
Sure,
What's his name? What's the Brazilian president's name?
The Bolsonaro?
Bolsonaro. He's not
Bolsonaro, exactly. Yeah. Bolsonaro is his name.
Yeah. He's gone now.
No, it's another one. This is the ex-president Bolsonaro. Lula is the latest president.
That's right. What's his name? Now the Corpsao?
Lula.
Yes, no corruption. Yeah, it's because
No,
of course.
it was
Yeah.
Bolsonaro who said now the corrupção.
Oh yeah,
But he's
Bolsonaro. Yeah, Bolsonaro is a crazy guy, man. I don't like him as well, man. He used to talk a lot of shit.
Yeah. Seemed like the Trump of South America. Something like that.
Exactly, the same
Yeah.
thing.
anyway. We love our fans in
We love
Brazil,
fans.
and we hate the stupid presidents who are being racists and idiots. But we hope to see you soon again.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure, man. I was very nervous, but everything
No.
got all right.
You're doing
man.
good.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man. You helped me a lot, man.
Thank you, man.
See you soon,
Now I'm
guys.
gonna go and check out Mannequin Pussy. They're playing right now.
All right, man.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye, man. Bye.